Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're talking about a deck profile. Today we're doing Brilliant BATTERYMen, the Brilliant Men that I like to call it. This is, in my opinion, the most optimized version of BATTERYMan in 2017. I wouldn't take it to a regional, but hey, if you want to have some fun, and this is a fairly cheap deck, this deck probably costs a max of $100 if you have none of these cards, but a lot of the expensive cards in here are cards you should already have anyway. So, without further ado, let's get started. With 3 BATTERYMAN fuel cell, you gotta run 3 because if you open 1 and charger with tribute fodder, that is an OTK that's 8,000 attack easily. His effect is if you have 2 BATTERYMen, you can special summon him to the field. That's including himself. It just has to be 2 BATTERYMen, and you can tribute 1 BATTERYMan monster except for himself, not except for the name, but except for the card itself. To return 1 card your opponent controls to their hand. So it's kind of a common 1 effect. And then we're running 3 Charger. Charger, when he is normal summoned, that's very relevant. You can special summon 1 BATTERYMan monster, except for BATTERYMan Charger. That is every BATTERYMan monster. There used to be an OTK way back in the day where you'd summon Charger, summon out AAA, and then play Infernal Reckless Summon. Summon out 2 more AAA and then play Short Circuit, and that would be an OTK because that's 9,000. Your opponent has no cards. But that's a little inconsistent for 2017, so we're not running that version of it. But still a very good card. And then 3 BATTERYMan 9-volt. This is the best main deck monster because when this card is summoned, you can add 1 BATTERYMan monster from your deck to your hand, and if you do, it gains 1,000 attack and defense. Well, actually, the attack and defense is doubled. So that's very relevant as well. The only problem is during your end phase, you destroy this card. I want you to, if you do decide to run this deck, I want you to keep that last effect in mind because a lot of times people will just destroy him during the end phase, but it's during your end phase, and that's actually really relevant. And then we're running 1 Industrial Strength. I haven't seen a BATTERYMan deck profile since this has been an archetype that has ran more than 1 Industrial Strength. It's a great card, but it's not a great card at more than 1. And that's it for the BATTERYMan engine. Running 2 Summoner Monk, just for the Xyz play. We're running a lot of spells. I believe there's 16 spells, which is a pretty decent amount. So Summoner Monk has a lot of target. The only problem with Summoner Monk is he can't be tributed face up. And so I'm running an interesting little package. 3 Battle Fader and 2 Ghost Trick Jack Frost. I could see you swapping this out and maybe the Summoner Monks for the Frog engine. And the relevance of that is the Frog engine could obviously be tributed over, and you could potentially summon Totally Awesome in the deck as well, but that would make the deck a little bit more pricey, and a little bit less consistent, in my opinion, because what these do, Battle Fader should be fairly obvious, special summon a monster your opponent declares a direct attack. Jack Frost, when your opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can special summon this monster, flip that monster face down, flip this monster face down, and continue from there. So it's basically like a Quaking Mirror Force at that point. 2 Max C, because it's probably the best hand trap in the game. Ever since Metaphors came along, Ghost Reaper's not really that strong anymore. And then I'm running the Brilliant Fusion package. Turbuline, you have to run Turbuline in this, which is good because Turbuline is like $1 for 3, whereas Garnet's like $10 for 1. Gem Knight Turbuline is relevant because BATTERYMan Charger gains 300 attack for each Thunder monster you control, regardless of their name. So Turbuline being a Thunder, that's relevant. Also, BATTERYMan Industrial Strength banishes a Thunder monster from your graveyard to destroy a spell or trap and a monster on the field, and it doesn't matter the name of the Thunder monster as well. So that's why you have to run Turbuline instead of Garnet, which is cheaper anyway. So 3 copies of Brilliant Fusion. It's BrilliantMen, so you got to run Brilliant Fusion, right? 3 copies of Instant Fusion, because I'm running 2 targets. One should be obvious, but the other one's going to be interesting. 3 copies of Twin Twister, because this deck absolutely despises back row. If you wanted to run like 2 MSTs on top of it too, really this deck's spell lineup can be changed in my opinion. But 1 card can't be changed, 1 Monarch Stormforth. This is what changed the deck completely, is because this card went to 1 thanks to Monarchs. Like this card obviously doesn't have synergy with Instant Fusion and Brilliant Fusion because you can't use your extra deck when you activate this card, but since it's only a 1-of in the deck, you can get away with running the other cards. 1 copy of Soul Charge because it's Soul Charge. 2 Photon Sanctuaries. This is where you could probably throw in 2 MSTs or maybe 2 Pot of Desires. This card, I really do like this card though. What it says is you can special summon 2 Photon tokens. They're both Thunder type light monsters, level 4, 2000 attack, 0 defense in defense position. They cannot attack or be used as synchro material monsters. You cannot summon other monsters. You activate this card except for light monsters, which is why this card is perfect in this deck, because you just summon them out. You summon them out and you tribute over them. I think they were meant to be tributed anyway because it says Photon, and most Photon cards are meant to be ran in a Galaxy Eyes deck. And then we're running honestly my favorite package of anything: 2 Dark Hole and 1 Raigeki. Literally, this is my favorite package. Just board wipe, and another board wipe. Pay no attention to the mixed rarities. You know, it's hard out here for a pimp. And then the only traps I'm running, 3 of them. 3 Call the Haunteds. You summon back out 9 volts during your opponent's turn. It doesn't die during your end phase. You have tribute fodder. You have searches. It's just Call the Haunteds is really good in this deck. But that's it for the main deck. It's only a 40 card main deck. Let's go to the extra deck. Gemini Seraphonite, because it's BrilliantMen. 1 Elder Entity Norden for the first target, and then 1 Thousand Eyes Restrict. Thousand Eyes Restrict's really strong because you summon him out, take an opponent's monster, and tribute over him, and there you go. It's a good way to get around a card. Because of Fuel Cell and Charger and Gemini Seraphonite, we can run a mixture of 4, 5s, and 6s. So I'm running one Gauntlet Launcher and 1 Photon Strike Bouncer. Probably the 2 best 6s in the game. At least generic 6s in the game, in my opinion. 1 Volcasaurus and 1 Pallades. I was looking for Durandal. I would have put Durandal in here instead of Pallades, because Pallades is only 2 light monsters and Seraphonite's in Earth. But Pallades is just as good, if not better, than Durandal, and Volcasaurus is Volcasaurus. So, and then that's it for the rank 5s. And then 1 Rhapsody, 1 Giant Hand, 1 Utopia, Prime, and the Lightning. And then 1 Dweller, 1 Castel. And then, of course, you got to run Crazy Box, because like I said in my Tag Duels live with Dark World, Crazy Box is meta, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But that's it for my Batteryman deck profile. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you click that like, click that subscribe button, and most importantly, though, have a great day. Get the point in.
Oh, yeah. The fancy cars, the women and the caviar. You know what we are.